Hello, one and all, and welcome back to more Let's Play Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I am the Max a Few Trades. In the last part, we went up against the insurmountable odds of trying to prove that both Athena and Blackwell could not have, in fact, murdered Athena's mother. And we were successful in that endeavor, despite the odds. Somehow we managed to pull through. It was a very emotional time. And, we thought everything was all hunky-dory and keen and good and great. But then Apollo burst through the door and said, No, I don't think this trial's quite over yet. I can only assume he has unfinished business with this whole situation, and that is immensely frustrating. But I'm not going to hold it against him. We just have to prove the facts. That's all that matters, and that's what we're gonna do. So let us begin. Tell me your worries and concerns, Apollo. I will defeat them. Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. But not the case of oh so very recently. I'm willing to bet. I'm not talking about the past here. I'm talking about the present case. It's still not clear who killed Clay Tarrant. But, Apollo, why would you? Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. It's incredibly easy and tempting to get frustrated with Apollo at this exact moment. But I've known him for quite the while now. So I'm just going to let him talk. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. But this is a trial for the case from 7 years ago. Miss Blackwell, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me, too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. Apollo? Sure, you know I'm all for the truth. Or you just still resent Athena, and you're desperately holding on to that aspect of your personality. I can't imagine it felt too terribly great to have the fact is that you harbored an intense grudge and hatred for someone entirely innocent. It's so much easier just to continue to hold on to it desperately, no matter what, huh? Yeah, alright. Now let's see you expose the princess's guilt. Yeah, see, there it is, there it is, there it is. Right proper asshole, this Aura Blackwell. Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial. Very well. Is that alright with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police investigation report brought immediately. Not you too, Edgeworth. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve. He always does. Whether or not that's to benefit us or not is completely up to debate, but yeah, we'll get there when we get there. Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. As you wish. Let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Tarrant. Yeah, let's get ourselves back up to speed. It was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starbuck was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in boarding lounge 1 when the two men made their escape out of the Space Museum. The killer attacked Mr. Tarrant with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Next, Director Yuri Cosmos switched to the launch pads. After that, the culprit exited the Space Museum and escaped via boarding lounge 2. Therefore, this trial must make clear who Mr. Tarrant's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped through the Space Museum that day. Okay, let's go! Thank you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready? Yes, Your Honor. I literally have no choice in the matter. I better rearrange my evidence. Relevant evidence swapped into the court record. All right. Relevant stuff. Yeah, okay. Got the phony Fanty bomb, emergency ladder, lighter, or a statement. The perp had a lighter with an earth emblem on their left hand. I actually do need to become reacquainted with all of this stuff. Evidence found by Detective Fulbright has Athena's prints on it and the victim's blood. It was lowered to the ground from the window of the 4th floor robotics lab. It was used to evacuate Space Center personnel. It was found in boarding lounge 1 and detonated in courtroom number 4. Fragments are being analyzed. Yep. That all makes sense. Okay. The biometric door lock, print authentication isn't required from the launch pad side. All that good stuff. Video showing the defendant and victim's escape from the corridor. We got the autopsy report. We've got the Phantom Psych profile. Got Moonrock earring. That one exhibit. Hope capsule. Okay. I think I'm ready. I think I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. Let's go. Now then, Mr. Justice, your testimony, if you please. So, why specifically do you think this is Athena? All right. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Terran. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launchpad switch to escape. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. God, that sucks! I hate this! Order in the court! Mr. Justice, you realize you're charging your own co-worker with murder, don't you? Yes, Your Honor. Because that is the conclusion my investigation has led me to. But, Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. I don't get it. Just what did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? Yeah, okay. Gonna have to pick his brain on this one. A lot. Okay, all right. Let's talk over everything then. I suspect Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Terran. Hold it! Let's just start from the beginning. What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Terran. My bracelet reacted. She said she'd never seen the knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. Okay. And then, every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Poor Apollo must have been beside himself during that investigation. Okay, we know why she lied about the knife, even though she herself was unaware that she was lying about the knife, but okay. All right. I didn't know what to do or think. I couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court. So I decided to wear an eye patch, so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. That's why. Okay, all right. Well, at the very bare minimum, as if this was ever in doubt to begin with, I don't think Apollo wants to be doing this. So that's, quote-unquote good. So that's why Apollo was acting so strangely. Because he was under the assumption and belief that his co-worker and now friend had murdered his best friend. And the whole situation was rather awkward and horrible for him. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. The reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago. Objection! Okay, you seem to find issue with that. But that knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Terran. My bracelet could have also reacted to her because she knew she was his killer too. I mean, okay, yes, I suppose technically. But my bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her. All right, keep talking. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. I admit, I don't have any idea how to explain this damn lighter.
Hold it!
This is all kinds of a problem. That's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum with her fingerprints on it, right? But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about it yet. If that's so, go ahead and prove it then. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. But, Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Tarrant.
Objection!
You think she does? 7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. It wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Besides, people sometimes kill for motives we can't even imagine. I mean, God, I can't argue against that specifically, I suppose. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. He's not wrong. I still can't believe this. How can you actually suspect Athena, Apollo? All right, keep talking to me. Keep talking to me. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launch pad switch to escape. All right.
Hold it!
Let's talk about this. Isn't it possible that somebody else used that same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Okay, explain how. Why not? Recall, there is a security camera in boarding lounge 1 aimed at the launch pad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Tarrant and Mr. Starbuck. But there's also another security camera in boarding lounge 2. It recorded Mr. Tarrant's killer, or rather, Miss Sykes coming out of the Space Museum. A camera in boarding lounge 2? First I've heard of it, but it makes sense. Athena said she had snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, which would explain why she would show up on the camera. It's like 7,000 different misunderstandings all layered on top of each other in the absolute perfect sequence to make it almost like the most obvious slam dunk assumption in the universe. But it is all just misunderstandings. Oh, but I have to prove that they are. Okay. Then was overcome and passed out until around noon the next day. I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into boarding lounge 2. Okay. That must have been when the camera captured her. That's what made Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. What you got, Phoenix? In that case, it most likely recorded the true culprit as well.
Objection!
I do not like when you object against me, Apollo. Feels wrong. That's a negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. In the footage taken after the incidents, Miss Sykes is the only one who appears. What? Why? Okay, that's obviously a massive issue. Order in the court! That can't be. But if it is, then it is incredibly incriminating. Wasn't it you who proved in the previous trial that the way the true culprit escaped was via the Space Museum after the pads had been switched? The fact you previously proved turned on its ear, leaving your client high and dry. I must say, that is vintage Phoenix Wright. Is now really the time to get all up in my goddamn biz, Edgeworth? Come on! I'm going through it enough as is. I don't need you rubbing it in.
Hold it!
All right, let's keep going. Believing in your client to the end is a basic principle of a good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own coworker? You're probably right. Maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. Apollo, come on, man. However, I don't care. This case is special to me. It's not like I don't understand. Clay was my friend, and that's why I just have to know the truth. Apollo suspected his trusted coworker of killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own. But that only led to more doubts. Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts, but I sure don't. I'll say it again. Athena Sykes isn't the murderer. Then I have only one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you have the concrete proof to knock down my arguments? Lord knows I'm sure gonna friggin' try, my guy! Your arguments have been very clear, Mr. Justice, and your facts appear to be indisputable. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think of my theory? I don't like it. It's a huge pain in the ass. Looks like not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route. Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect but the defendant. Unless... you think there was an alternative escape route? Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? There has to be. Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternative escape route? I feel like that has to be the case, because, I mean... I don't know what, but I mean, the camera doesn't lie. Okay. Let's go with it and hope for the best. Yes, of course there must have been. Just don't ask me what. That's definitely going to be his next question. You're just bluffing again, aren't you? You don't know me! Me? Bluff? No way! He knows me too well. Ah! He does know me! No! It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. As long as you can. Clear up this doubt inside me! Yeah, I was right. He doesn't want this. Wait! So is that what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. So that you can really trust me? It seems your junior partner has just showed us what trials are truly all about. Yeah, I guess so. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant, while we lawyers believe in and defend our clients to the end. When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth. Precisely. And when the battle is over, we will understand the true meaning of trust. That is exactly what trials are about. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside me. So I decided I needed to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid! That's so like Apollo. Always uber earnest about things like this. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Good! Because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again! Damn straight you do! You're really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you, Apollo? But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Yeah. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit, leaving only the control room and the corridor to the Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? Come on, Mr. Wright! Where do you think the culprit escaped to? I mean, I don't see any, like, secret alcoves or alternative situations. The way the facts fall where they are, the control room is 100% not an option in any capacity. Only Cosmos could get in there. So this is the only way they could have gone.
Take that!
They really only could have escaped to the corridor to the Space Museum. All they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbuck's prince to get through the door.
Objection!
Yes. It appears that all you're trying to establish is Miss Sykes' guilt. Give me time, man! If the culprits used that route, the only exit would have been into the boarding lounge 2. The logical conclusion of your argument is that the killer is none other than the defendant. I knew it. That's the only way it could be, huh? If the culprit escaped into the corridor that leads to the Space Museum, then I guess it's true. The only exit would have been into boarding lounge 2. But Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the boarding lounge 2 security camera. I investigated the crime scene thoroughly. The only place the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There wasn't any other secret corridors or anything. So that leaves us with no doubt of the conclusion to draw, but that Athena Sykes was the culprit. What could the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? But hold on a second, what if? I certainly hope you have an idea, Phoenix. I'm blind, man. Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? Interesting question. What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? Okay. So before the game even starts talking about it, I can only assume the implication here is the leaves came in through the door when the rooms were switching? Wouldn't the hallway door have like locked shut? Like, why would it be open? Could you open it while it was moving? That seems like a safety hazard. Okay. I think it is possible that the culprit escaped into the Space Museum, but then came out using a route other than into boarding lounge 2. Oh? Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched after the bombing, meaning the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time, which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened up for our culprit. Are you kidding me? Judging by the intense look in your eyes, I take it you're serious. Hey, look, sometimes I may bluff my way through situations, but I always mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Very well then, Mr. Wright, do tell. Where could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor besides boarding lounge 2? I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to poke at. I guess just outside?
Take that!
We found something odd while investigating the museum corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Yeah, I remember seeing some leaves myself. Ah! Do you mean... I apparently do, Apollo. Apparently I do. Yep. While the Space Museum was in motion, just beyond the corridor's safety door, was an alternative place that the culprit could use to escape. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was... the area outside the Space Center! My music is playing, so you gotta listen. You freaking insane!
Objection!
And yet, this is the path I choose to walk on. Do you know how impossible that would be? That corridor is level with the 3rd floor. Even if the culprit tried to leap to the outside wall of the Space Center building, they would fall to their death!
Objection!
Oh, I mean, ordinarily, yes. But after the bombing incidents, the culprit could make use of a certain item. Oh! And what item was it, exactly, Mr. Wright? All right. This is what the culprit used to leap to the outside wall of the main building.
Take that!
An emergency ladder? An emergency ladder! There's a bunch of them! There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab. And it was used that day after the explosions to help evacuate people. Miss Blackwell herself used that ladder to escape down to ground level. I admit, it's a hell of a jump, but it's not impossible. Recall that the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. God, the timing! The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched. And that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. You can't argue that it's impossible, and leapt onto the ladder. What? Who would have imagined? Come on, Edgeworth, I'm sure you've got issues with this. Order in the court! Well, an alternative escape route seems to have emerged. Which means someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right?
Objection!
He wants it so badly. Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again. Are we, Mr. Wright? Your theory has so many holes it puts Swiss cheese to shame. I'm a bigger fan of mozzarella. All right, then name one. I have here detailed information about the Space Center. According to this, the distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is a full 20 feet. That is considerable. 20 feet? You're pulling my leg, right? In addition, the corridor is 3 floors from the ground, or roughly 50 feet. What's more, the culprit would be leaping to a precarious place. An unstable ladder. That is a lot. Human beings feel fear in dangerous situations. It's a basic survival instinct. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Although also, an ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping. Or even freeze in fear and not jump at all. Edgeworth, are you? I think he's trying to help me. Because you're right. You are right. A normal person would be afraid. I think he's trying to lead me. I mean, I kind of already had a hunch anyway, but the fact that he's putting in the effort is incredibly awesome. At least, assuming I'm correct in that. But the culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind.
Objection!
Nevertheless, why would they have taken that kind of risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped to Boarding Lounge 2.
Objection!
Because there was a security camera in Boarding Lounge 2. The culprit knew they would be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way.
Objection!
In that case, the culprit could have hidden in the museum until things settled down. And then blended in with the other people after the museum was opened. That's a good point! But you claim that despite all of this, the culprit took a 20-foot death-defying leap, and all in the brief moment the corridor and ladder passed by each other? That's also a good point. They would have needed a running start while the corridor was moving to make that jump. If the timing was off, or if they couldn't jump far enough, it would have been instant death. What kind of person would attempt something like that? I don't know. Maybe a spy? Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth! This true culprit of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination. Why do you always have to point out every flaw? Well, to be fair, he literally did just describe his profession as doing as such. Mr. Edgeworth's right. That does sound pretty insane. The culprit would have to be someone who feels no fear, like a stuntman. But everyone feels fear on some level, right? Well, I have a piece of information in my pocket that says otherwise. Wait a minute. Ah, I've got it this time. Let's go. And I honestly feel like Edgeworth was trying to get me to do this, I think. I could prove that there's someone who could have used this alternate escape route. Oh, can you now? I can, indeed! This proves the possibility of a person who could have used this alternative escape route. Because again, the way he was phrasing it, a normal person would have experienced fear. But the subject's emotions really fluctuate, and he doesn't experience feelings like normal people do.
Take that!
What's that, Mr. Wright? This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear? Well, Edgeworth, what? Right? Was that not your plan? It sure felt like it was your plan. You can't be serious. Well, I am. Okay, it may not have been your goal, but it's the path that it's the way we're going. It's the only thing that makes sense. Without the constraint of fear, he could easily do what an ordinary person wouldn't dare. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear. This subject could make a 20-foot leap, 50 feet up in the air. He could choose this extreme way of escaping without hesitation. So you're saying that to a person without fear, the alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance that they'd be spotted? Yeah! If the option was available and they thought it was viable, they would go for it. That's definitely pretty extreme, Mr. Wright. That's right. The court would like to indict Matt Murdock, the man without fear! Let's go! But was there such a person there at the scene? Yes! The Phantom. That mysterious, shadowy figure who keeps popping up. Oh dear. The Phantom. Again? Man, this music! I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes of the Space Center bombing, but I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Terran as well. However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Terran. What? What? This is some like vintage anime music or something. I don't know what to describe it as, but I love it. Order in the court, I say. Mr. Wright, please continue. There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? It can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So then the Phantom is the one who killed Clay? But who is he? Yeah, I don't know. This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Who could this unidentified international spy be? I mean, is it meant to be someone I know? If so, then... Right. This escape route must have been a part of the Phantom's plan from the start. Well, at least you're totally believing me. That's awesome. As was tricking Director Cosmos into switching the launch pads. The bomb on the second floor was meant to make the elevators and stairs unusable. That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did. Yeah, I think you're right. But it doesn't explain this one last thing. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation. Shit! Oh my god! Oh my god. Okay, no, I'm thinking it over, and it makes sense. Acting weird. This ladder thing. Oh my god, even the lighter! Do I say it? Hang on. It was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? Because it had to be that ladder specifically. The robotics lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder. But he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. So he specifically instructed that that one be used! So you mean the Phantom must be someone who knew that particular ladder was going to be used? That's right. Who could it be? Wait a minute. Yeah, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Oh my god, it's Fulbright. Oh, that explains literally everything. He specifically requested that ladder be used to have an escape route. He's the one who brought the lighter. He's the one who compiled all of the fingerprints. And to top it all off, he's been following Blackwell around this entire time! He wasn't trying to help him, he was trying to impede him! That's insane! But Miss Blackwell lowered the ladder after being told to by the detective leading the... You and me both, Phoenix. You and me both. You've gotta be kidding me! Did you figure it out right? Do you know who the Phantom is? Yeah, I do. But who is it? Who killed Clay? Our mystery spy known as the Phantom is none other than... In justice, we trust. Oh my god. That hit me like a cement truck. After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. As for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. So I lowered my emergency ladder, like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. His objective was to secure his own escape route. We lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter. This is a detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on the current case. He's been here the entire time. He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he is without emotion.
Take that!
Jesus Christ. What? Are you saying you mean the Phantom is Detective Bobby Fulbright? Exactly. We were all taken in by his fake persona. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, how could this be? That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any other ladder put to use. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder. Verily, it was all part of his plan to create an escape route. Nobody would see anything. Literally every aspect of the situation was accounted for. After Detective Fulbright saw to it that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab, he went to the lounge, where he killed Clay Terran and escaped into the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so he waited for the right time, got a running start, and just freaking booked it! Just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leapt onto it! I don't believe it! That addle-pated detective did all that? Was it really him? I mean, all this time I thought... Yeah, I thought so too, dude! Sorry, we didn't catch your name. My name? I'm Bobby Fulbright, the heroic detective who defends our good citizens from evil. The champion of justice who comes running whenever you're in need. And my catchphrase? It's injustice! That's where you trust! Then, his concern for Simon was also just one big act? I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. God damn! That monster killed Clay? He had me completely fooled! I didn't even consider this! Come to think of it, he's the one who brought the bloodstained lighter to court, too! The scumbag even made me turn on Athena! Damn it! How the hell did I fall for all that? For him to have wormed his way into the police department as well. Ugh. Your Honor, the defense demands to question Detective Bobby Fulbright. Yes, I agree that we need to hear from him right away. The court will take a short recess, and then Detective Fulbright will take the stand. Holy crap! I don't know what I was expecting, man, but it was nothing like this! Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. If it wasn't for everything you did, I... Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss. I am so gonna need your help. Apollo? Apollo? Well, this is ever so slightly awkward. Ugh. Yeah. Athena, can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you punch me, please? What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I did try. Ah! Don't be such a dope! I was really touched by what you did. Now what are you talking about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. You never wanted to doubt her. You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how could I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? You didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago. To be fair, that was a dope slap. It's an entirely different thing. Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I now know who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. It looks like you have some promising young people working under you. Damn straight I do! Edgeworth. Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself. They're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, I have some very good news. Aura Blackwell has surrendered, and the hostages have been set free. Thank God! Okay, that's one problem solved. Trucy and all the others? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do. So, I granted her special permission to do what she must. I wonder what it is. Whoa, hi! Miss Blackwell? I didn't come to apologize, if that's what you're thinking. I wouldn't have expected as much. Also, I hope you realize that, or at the very least, I sincerely hope, that regardless of your intentions, you still kidnapped and threatened to kill people. So, that's a hell of a crime! My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. I guess I can't dispute that. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you. Miss Aura. She better not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. It's true. The courts are filled with incompetent idiots. Still, I suppose I could let you handle the rest of this case for me. Oh, Miss Aura, does this mean you're starting to trust the system again? Okay! No, of course not! Be quiet, hunk of junk. Yeah, well, luckily I really don't need to care about how you feel about the situation. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the ones who took Metis' killer down. Leave it to us! We'll get him. So I guess that means she's starting to trust us, at least. Hey, you know what? Baby steps. We'll take it. Aura. Simon. I'm so glad both you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. It's all thanks to me and my robots. You better be grateful. I never imagined you would go that far. Though you always were extreme. Yeah. Your family concerns me, Blackwell. You included, just for the record. You may have not killed anybody, but you're still a deeply bizarre individual. I don't ever recall requesting your help. As closed as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in the slammer. Yeah! Yeah, no, yeah, go, yeah. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You'd probably give me the death penalty. You know me all too well. I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. That's an incredibly optimistic and kind way of putting it. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though, because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the sticks just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon. Oh, so there is something of a soul deep down in there. Ugh, go figure. I mean, obviously she cared about her brother. She wouldn't have done all of the things that she did if she didn't, but, you know. Still, she has been not a great person up to this point. I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that. Aura. Alright, that's enough of that. Bailiff, take me to the detention center. What Miss Blackwell did was inexcusable. I'm glad that we're not pretending that it wasn't. Hoy. But it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. So that's something. That's something, at least. I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Fulbright being the Phantom. Yeah, no, it's crazy, because it feels like it came out of absolutely nowhere, but when you really sit down and you think about it for just a few moments, everything falls into place perfectly. I can't believe he killed Clay. Right. And murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. So basically we all hate this asshole, so yeah, alright. Chief Prosecutor. Yes? I would ask a favor. Would you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? You know what? Honestly, I think that's a fair request. I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hands. That was my plan all along. After all, I got no business being here. It's highly unconventional for a man of my position to stand in court. True enough, true enough. Sir. The formal paperwork has yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take this prosecutor's bench in your official capacity and uncover the truth by your own hands. Also, I'll be there and help too. I'm much obliged. The day to part with these has come at last. Chief Prosecutor, could you? Was Edgeworth just holding on to the key the entire time? Well, alright then. Well, would you look at that? He didn't have to break them for once. How long have I waited? 7 years, I'd say. Maybe it's the sense of freedom. But even the air seems fresher. The lights brighter. And I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy. Free or not, Blackwell is still Blackwell, and he's a weirdo. At least his aggression is entirely well-founded. I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is. I'm so glad. But I won't cry just yet. A lawyer can't cry till it's all over. After all, we've still got a trial to finish. It's okay to cry, Athena, I promise. Honestly, given the circumstances, yeah, no, it's totally fine. This is a big deal. Prosecutor Blackwell, Mr. Wright, please avenge Clay's death for me. Y'all can just come with us. What are you talking about, Apollo? You're coming to the defense's bench with me. I am? Yeah, why on earth wouldn't you? Are you kidding me? Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's the defendant. That leaves you, Apollo. But, are you sure you want me? Why wouldn't I? I took a leave of absence and everything. Oh, like that actually matters, dude. You're making a way bigger deal out of all of this than you need to. Well, our office is pretty short-handed, and you're all I've got. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Apollo. Athena. I can say it with all my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence. And now we're going to prove it to the world. Yeah, we are. I'm so hyped. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it.
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right?
Right, because I'm fine now.
Let's go! Why is that hype? You're gonna need to pick those bandages up off the floor, though. It's Rouge's litter. Now this is the Apollo I know. Welcome back, Apollo. You don't need to be all edgy and try hard. No offense, Edgeworth. It's almost time for the trial to restart. It looks like you have things well in hand. Yep. I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? Don't you want to at least see this through? I want to look into a few things. Namely, the first people on the scene 7 years ago, the facial data registered by the robots, and Detective Fulbright's background. Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's probably good. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of work here, so you being able to back us up like that that's a good call. Okay, yeah, no. Big team movements, let's go! Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory rights. Now, if you'll excuse me. Man, what a cool dude! What a cool dude! Okay, you two all set to go? You bet I am. Let's do this! Ah! Oh, let's go! Let's freaking go! This is it. The final battle. The murder of Apollo's friend? The courtroom bombing incident? And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. Destiny has called us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. And that's what we're gonna freaking do!